It's Friday, people. What does that mean? It's preview video time. It is Friday morning. The sun is out. It's a great day. Usually I do these on Friday nights, but I'm off work today. So I figured, hey, let's do it in the morning. Let's get some real light in here. Let's brighten up the joint. But let's get into the game here. We got the 7-3 Detroit Lions going up against the 8-2 New England Patriots. Lions are 3-2 on the road. New England's 5-0 at home. They haven't lost in a couple years. And they haven't lost at home while trailing at halftime since 2000. Something's got to break. At some point, New England's going to lose at home. Why can't it be this week? You know, just because our pass isn't good. We're 7-3 for a reason. Let's go into the headlines here. Number one being Jonas Gray. Had that great game last week. He had 201 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns against the Colts on Sunday Night Football. That is what the narrative has been this week. Oh, Jonas Gray is going to make New England, multifaceted. It's going to help them get to the Super Bowl. Guys, he only has 332 yards rushing this year. So going into that game, he only had 131 rushing yards. So you almost doubled it in one game. Let's pump the brakes back a little bit. You guys remember Kevin Ogletree, obviously being Lions fans, we had him. Remember he had that one game, week 1, against the Giants, I think, 3 years ago, where he had 3 touchdowns or some crap like that. Let's see him do it again before we start talking about how he's one of the best running backs in the league and all this crap. All right, the Lions defense is no slouch. The Colts defense is middle of the pack in run defense. Lions in the top 5. So if he can do it again this week, then yeah, let's talk about how good he is. But until then, it's just a nice, great, breakout game and all that. But I don't see it happening again this week. I saw a stat. The Patriots are 40-1 when they had a running back rush for over 100 yards. We've only given up one 100-yard rusher this year, and that was against the Jets. And I don't even know if it was one guy. I'm pretty sure it was just one game that we had more than 100 yards rushing against us. More than even just one guy. It was split between Chris Johnson and I think it was Chris Ivory. Next would be the Gronk effect. That's the next big story. Who is going to stop Gronk, or at least try to cover him? And I think that's going to be James Ahedebo. Strong safety. I think he's the perfect fit there. I think it'll be either him or DeAndre Levy. Either way, one of them guys are going to be on Gronk. They got to jam him at the line, keep up with him. They had James covering John Brown last week, and obviously that was a huge mismatch with John Brown's quickness and speed. Gronk doesn't have that. Gronk is just all power and hops. So we got to get a safety on him or a linebacker, and I think it's not going to be as bad as what everyone thinks it's going to be. Lions have actually only given up 4 touchdowns this year to tight ends. And remember, 2 of those came week 1 against the Giants, Larry Donnell. So we've done actually pretty good against tight ends this year. Remember, Jimmy Graham came back against us, didn't have a catch, was a complete non-factor. That could be because he was coming back from injury, but then again, Calvin was coming back from an injury against Miami, and he lit up the Dolphins. So we'll see. We'll see with Gronk, but obviously he's their biggest weapon on offense. If we can at least try to slow him down. And even last week, he only had, I think, 41 yards receiving. He just had that one ridiculous touchdown where he pretty much just threw a guy off him and then just ran a couple guys into the end zone. But obviously, he's their biggest weapon. We got to slow him down. The other big one on our end is the offense. They're talking about simplifying the playbook, dropping it down 20%. That could be good or bad. In the good side, with less plays, there's less to think about, more reaction. They can just go out there and make the plays instead of having to think, okay, what blocking scheme is here? What route do I do here? Hopefully this will, with less plays going, they can practice more during the week and get it going for Sunday. But on the downside is I can't remember any offense that simplified their playbook and came back and did a lot better. I did a Google search earlier and just typed in NFL offensive game plan simplified, something like that. And I found one. That was the 49ers this year. In August, they came out and said they were simplifying the offense. It's not like the 49ers are blowing anyone out here. They're 20th in yards and 18th in scoring, which is both above the Lions, but still not that good. Just because our offense has been pretty bad this year. But looking at last year, they're better in yards. They were 24th in yards last year. But they were 11th in scoring last year, and they're only 18th this year. So their scoring has gotten worse now that they've simplified the offense. Hopefully it goes the right way. I think it will. I think this will help out the Lions tremendously. Our offense needs to pick it up. Our defense is number 1 in scoring. They've given up less than 16 points a game, having given up more than 24 in one game, and that was against the Carolina Panthers week 2. So we need the offense to pick it up, and if they do, this team is going to be practically unstoppable if that defense continues to play the way they have been playing. I did a blog post about this week, and I just want to kind of skim real quick. This Matthew Stafford hate in our fan base, in our community, and in One Pride Nation, I think is just ridiculous. He's our quarterback. If you go down the line, you would take him, whether you hate him or not, if you're being honest with yourself, you would take him over half the quarterbacks that are starting in this league. So you may think that he sucks and you may hate him, and I really think that might be coming from people who don't really watch the NFL. They just watch the Lions. So they think, oh, he sucks, he can do better, and they hear certain names. But when you're comparing him to Aaron Rodgers, to Tom Brady, to Peyton Manning, these are guys that are going in the Hall of Fame, first ballot. So you're saying if he's not as good as that, we should cut him? That is just ridiculous. He is still a top 10 quarterback in the league, and he is the guy that's going to bring us there. And at this point, if he's not, then we worry about that in the future. This is the middle of the season. He's not going anywhere this year. So let's just calm down on the Stafford hate. There's plenty of blame to go around. Lombardi's play calling, the offensive line, the running game, the receivers outside of Tate. Tate really has been playing amazing. But other than Tate, there's really no one on the offense that's blown anything away. So there's plenty of blame going around. So you can hate on Stafford. He's a quarterback. Oh, that's what happens when you're a quarterback. That's fine. I understand it. But I'm just saying, just sit back, really think about it, and realize you can hate on Stafford at the end of the year. But right now, he's not going anywhere. We're 7-3. We're still in the number 2 seed. And he's our quarterback. And we're at 7-3 for a reason. Not many quarterbacks could have done what he did the last 3 games before last week. Those game-winning drives, that's a skill only a few quarterbacks have. So, obviously, to be able to have a game-winning drive, you have to play bad beginning of the week game. So, hopefully, we get a full 4 quarters out of them. And at some point, it's going to click. It took a while with Drew Brees. I think it took him 7 or 8 games. And Lombardi's first year as a quarterback coach in New Orleans. So it's just going to take some time, and I think it might be this week. I hope so, because it's got to come. It's got to come sooner or later. And if we can pick up this win, and we have 4 cupcakes after this, we can run through the schedule, man. It should be fun. This should be. If this was the game that ignited it, oh, that'd be awesome. Let's look at the matchup real quick. Running offense, Lions suck. We know this. They're 79.8 rushing yards a game, and you know you're bad when you rush for 98 yards, and everyone's talking about how great our running game was last week. Oh, our running game was finally there. Oh, we finally did something. Dude, we didn't even rush for 100 yards, people. The bar for our running game is pretty low if we're getting excited over 98 yards rushing. Their run defense is middle of the pack. They give up about 110 yards a game. But looking at last week, we were playing one of the top run defenses, and we decided to run 2/3 or almost half the time. My guess is we're probably going to be running a lot. Past their run defense or their run offense, they rush for about 116 yards a game, and our run defense is number 1 in the league, giving up less than 70 a game. So my guess is because that's our strength, they're going to come out and pass the ball, which is exactly like what we should do. But instead, we're trying to beat the run into and just make it work. If we keep running, it'll work, and maybe it will. I'm hoping it will, but so far it hasn't. Our pass offense, for as bad as Matthew Stafford is, he's the worst quarterback in the league, can't read a defense, all this shit. They're 253 yards passing per game. That's 12th in the league, going up against the 17th ranked pass defense, giving up 242 yards a game. Their pass offense is 9th, 265 yards a game. And our pass defense is 5th, only giving up 222 yards per game. So matchups actually favor the Lions, other than the running game for us. But we won't match up good against any running game. But everything else, you know, their rush offense, they put up 116 yards on the ground, average per game, but we only give up less than 70, so that's +1 for us. They pass for 265, and we only give up 222, so that's another one for us. Our pass offense 253, and they give up 242, so that's kind of a wash. It's pretty close. So it's a pretty even matchup. Obviously, with Tom Brady being a Hall of Famer, you know, Belichick being a Hall of Famer, them being at home, they have all the advantages and everything else. Everyone says they're going to win. I've only seen, I think only one person out of all the ESPN picks picked the Lions to win. They're favored to win by 7, New England is, which is a huge line for two division leaders going against each other. But real quick, my 3 keys to victory. Number 1, you got to pressure Tom Brady. The Giants proved in the Super Bowl, teams prove it over and over again. And pressure up the middle against Brady gets him shook. We have to get that pressure. We didn't get 1 sack against Stanton last week. We need to get that pressure. That pressure will force him into some bad throws. And that's the ticket to beat New England. It always has been and always will be under Brady. Get internal pressure right up the gut on him, and we have a chance. Number 2, we have to start strong. This, you know, like Sean Blegion on 96.1, there's a whole lot of nothing offense between the 20s, do great, and then can't score in the red zone. That's got to change. We got to come out hot, get a quick score, hopefully a turnover, go up on them quick, and because at home they don't lose. If they have the lead at halftime, they don't lose. So we can't afford to be down on them at halftime. And 3, quick passing game. I think this will help both the line. I think it'll help Stafford. I think it'll help the running game. They can do quick 3-step drops, slants, or screen plays, anything like that. If you watched last night with Kansas City, holy crap, they ran a screen play which seemed like every drive. And we run, I think, 1 a game? They ran one last week, and that was the play that Joyke Bell jumped over the guy. That was a screen play, and we got 30 yards on it. We need to run more screen plays, more slants, stuff like that. That'll help the offense tremendously. All these 5-7-step drops, you know, aren't helping the Lions at all. It's not helping the Lions. It's not helping Stafford. It's not helping the receivers. So those are my 3 keys to victory, which go into my prediction. I think the Lions take this one, everyone. Before last week, I would have said the Lions were going to lose this game because I thought we were going to beat Arizona. But since we lost to Arizona, I think they're going to come out strong. I think they're going to come out desperate. I think they're going to play like a playoff game. And I think they win this one. Not big. They're not going to come out and blow out New England. That's obviously not going to happen. But I think they win 27-24. I think the offense figures it out just enough to get the victory. They hold Brady to only a couple touchdowns. But either way, this has huge playoff implications. All the teams that are playing the Lions, or that are going up against the Lions in the playoff hunt in the NFC, all have pretty easy games except for Seattle. Seattle has Arizona, but everyone else is favored to win by at least 4. So Lions need this one. They can't afford to lose. If they lose this one and all the other NFC contending teams win, that pushes the Lions all the way down to 6th. They're 2 right now. But if you want a more in-depth look, check out below in the description. I posted about the playoff picture for the NFC. You can take a look at that and let me know what you think. NFC North, Green Bay plays at Minnesota. Tampa Bay plays at Chicago. Obviously, I got Green Bay and Chicago, which, again, sucks for us. But there's no way Green Bay is going to go to Minnesota and lose. That's just not going to happen. And then Tampa Bay coming off a big victory last week against Washington. I don't think they win 2 games in a row. I think that was just a product of Washington and their internal fighting and stuff. But then again, Chicago's having the same kind of stuff. So that could happen again, and I don't see it. I think this is Chicago. I think they win this one and then get blown out next week against the Lions. So that's what I think is going to go on this weekend. Please let me know what you think. Comment, post, share, do what you do with this video. Just help us out, and see you guys on Monday. Hopefully it comes out better on Sunday this week than it was last week, and we can get a couple touchdowns. But I think it'll happen. I think the offense is going to figure it out and go on a run here, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, guys. So see you Monday. Enjoy the game. Go Lions. Talk to you later.